What is up, my ninjas? Shinobi here with another Overwatch video for you guys. Lately I've been putting out some Overwatch videos, some highlights, some stuff that I've been doing in the game, and I wanted to take a little bit of time to explain why this kind of came out of nowhere, also my first impressions of the game. But the first thing I want to talk about is kind of my background when it comes to shooter games, both first-person shooters and other kinds of shooters. So I'm going to talk about that first. So there'll be an annotation on the bottom right hand of the screen that you can click on to skip that part and go to my first impressions of Overwatch. Why is it that this type of game, you know, holds a really near dear place in my heart, playing shooter games and all that sort of thing? Well, the thing is that a long time ago, back when I was probably about 14, 15 years old, I used to actually play a lot of shooter games. It's the first type of game that I ever played competitively. I played on a website called Lg.GamingContact, which nowadays I believe is owned by MLG, Major League Gaming. And the game that I played back then was SOCOM 2. Now that was a third-person shooter it was a very competitive game, and I was actually in a lot of top-ranked clans, and that's actually where I also got my name Shinobi from a long time ago. In that game, I was actually ranked top 25 individual players of the entire game, voted by the community back then, and I put a lot of time into that game, and I really enjoyed the competitive scene of it. And it's the first game that I ever played where I actually really found that passion for being competitive in a video game. Up until that point, I always just played games and did my best in them and tried to beat them and all this kind of stuff, and that's what I would do. I would always, you know, rent games or buy games and just beat them. But then finally I got into SOCOM, and that was the place for me to actually start getting competitive in a game, and it really opened up my eyes to a different type of way of playing games that I really enjoyed. After playing that game, a lot of my people that I played with, they went off to play Counter-Strike, but I went off to play World of Warcraft. Now, I've been playing World of Warcraft for a long time, and it's one of the games that I actually started up this channel with quite a long time ago. Even before the Diablo 3 stuff, I got into the World of Warcraft stuff. So, you know, I'd always been kind of waiting for the next, you know, FPS game or next shooter game to come out to get back into the competitive scene of that stuff, but there was never really anything that really made me want to put the time into it. I mean, I played things like Quake and Unreal Tournament back in the day, but I was in high school back then, so I didn't really have the time to actually put a lot of time into it to get really good and be really competitive with it. And also on top of that note, back when I did the SOCOM 2 stuff back then, I always wanted to, you know, record clips of us doing these epic battles, these epic clan battles that we would do, and these team battles that we do, because we were so good, and I wanted to showcase that to the world. And it's something that I always wanted to do one day, but the technology wasn't really that good for doing stuff like that back then. We didn't have Twitch TV back then, and YouTube was very new back then. So really the only way that you would know anything about the game, even though it was a very popular game and it was very competitive, the only thing you would see are the results and the rankings and the leaderboards back then on GameBattles.com. So that's pretty much all we did back then, and I've always been looking for another game to come out to get back into the competitive scene of shooter games. You know, I know the process behind a shooter game. I know the process behind getting good with it and learning the different guns and the recoils and the maps and the positions on the maps and where to hold, the strategy behind it. And, you know, I always thought about maybe getting into something like Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I did play it for a little bit, just a little bit though, about a month and a half. Didn't really go too crazy with it. I got up to Gold Nova 3. I was learning the game really quickly. I had friends that were global elites, and I would practice with them and all kinds of stuff, and I would learn a bunch about the game. But that game's been out for quite a while now, so the reason why instead of me playing Counter-Strike Global Offensive on this channel here is that it's something that's already kind of established a competitive scene. It's already kind of established a lot of, you know, personalities and people that are known in that game. Overwatch is kind of a new, fresh face into the scene, and it's something that, you know, I can learn the game from the beginning with everybody else, and that's kind of what I wanted to do with Overwatch, and that's why you've seen a lot of these videos on the channel, and that's why, you know, I'd like to do more videos like this in the future with more Overwatch stuff and all that sort of thing. Nowadays with YouTube, I've been being a lot more part-time with YouTube. You know, YouTube, I mainly just do it nowadays for just the love of it, just because I enjoy making videos. And, you know, I know that some people are looking forward to, you know, they subscribe because they want to see D3 on the channel and stuff like that. But honestly, I've been doing D3 on this YouTube channel for over 4 years now. One of the longest, if not the longest, running primarily D3 YouTube channels that still covers D3 nowadays, that's out there. So, you know, I feel like I've really earned the ability to put other games on this channel. Not that it's something that I need to earn, because it is my channel at the end of the day, and like I said, the only thing I really get out of doing this is because I enjoy it, and if I'm not enjoying it, then what's the point of doing it? And if I enjoy it, you're going to enjoy it more, instead of just like, oh, I guess I should make another D3 video today, oh, what can I just come up with? You know, because, and also on top of that, D3's been kind of slow lately. They didn't really do much in the last patch and all that, so you know, I'm not really thinking too far into the future. I'm not saying that I'm never doing D3 videos again. I'm not saying that Overwatch is going to be the only thing on this channel. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying, I'm just taking it day by day right now. I'm just kind of enjoying Overwatch, you know, and when the competitive side of it comes out, the rank system comes out and all that stuff, and then I can actually put a lot of time into it and really, you know, showcase that stuff on the YouTube channel, make a lot of videos about different sorts of things for Overwatch. But you never know, if I get really bored of this game, then I'll stop playing it, you know, who knows. But you know, at the end of it, I gotta do it because I like it, and I enjoy playing this game right now, so you know, that's pretty much what I'm going to do. It's just, you know, keep uploading some Overwatch videos on here, and it may do some D3 stuff as well, if it makes sense to do that. I'm not going to force a video out. I want to make videos because I want to make videos, not because I need to make videos. I've never made a lot of money on YouTube or anything like that. You know, it's just really, I mainly have always done YouTube because I'm passionate about it and because I love doing it. I've been doing it for over 5 years now, over 460 videos on this channel, and you know, accumulated millions of views over the years, and that's great and everything like that. And I make videos for YouTube. I don't make videos for a certain corner of YouTube, like just my subscribers. Okay, you subscribe for D3, so you know, I'll be a monkey and get to work, monkey. Okay, make my videos for me because you subscribe to me. At the end of the day, you don't grow a YouTube channel by doing that, and that's what I've been doing for the past year. I'm just putting out videos that I know you guys enjoyed, but that stopped the growth of the channel because D3 is not really that popular out there. You're not really going to bring in a lot of traffic with D3 nowadays. Let's go ahead and get into the second part of the video, which is my likes and dislikes about the game, my first impressions of the game. I've been playing it for about a week now. I played it a little bit in the beta, and like barely a little bit. For some reason, I didn't get invited to the beta. I was in the friends and family for every Blizzard game. I was in day 1 alpha for World of Warcraft Legion. Day 1 alpha for World of Warcraft Legion, like, let that sink in. But I didn't get a beta invite for Overwatch the entire time. So the only time I actually got to play it was during like the free weekend, and they also had like the open beta, which I was busy doing, you know, D3. I was doing the season for D3, and so pretty much it's like I haven't really put that much time into the game and played it for about a week, played a little bit in the beta. I get a comment all the time. It's mainly why I'm making this video right now. You know, is this game worth picking up? Do you think that I should get it, or whatever the case? So I'll get into all that stuff, and then you can make your own decision if it's something that you think that you would enjoy playing. So the first thing that I have to say that I really like about the game is the gameplay of the game itself. Blizzard is very, very well known for having a core gameplay that is solid, polished, and just really good. It's pretty much the only reason why D3 hasn't completely fallen off the face of the planet, is because, you know, every game Blizzard puts out always has this core to the game that is fun. They always make sure that they nail that one part, and they definitely did in Overwatch. The gameplay is very fun. There's tons of different heroes you can play, and all of them are fun and unique to their own personal personalities and traits and things of that sort, and can be used in certain situations. You can be strategic in certain things. There can be these group play metas and compositions that you can do, especially when rank play comes out in the future. You're going to see that stuff more often, certain different, you know, ways of building up your team and all that sort of stuff. And The gameplay itself is very solid and smooth. And on the topic of gameplay, the gameplay does have certain similar elements to things like Quake, Unreal Tournament, and things like Team Fortress 2, which is something that's been very heavily compared to. Now, for me personally, I never could get into Team Fortress 2. It just did not do it for me. I don't know why, but in this game, for some reason, I enjoy this game a lot more. I think it's just the different flair behind it. I think that it's got this newer touch to it. It's got some unique factors to it that you don't see in these other games. Even though there are similar things to things like those other games I mentioned, it does feel like a fresh new game, and that is something that I also really like. Now, getting into the second thing that I like about the game, which this has kind of been somewhat of a controversial thing between a lot of people. Now, I like the progression in the game as of right now. Now, obviously, if this is all the game ever was and no rank system would ever come out or anything like that, yes, this would get boring, and it would get boring pretty quick. And then the game would completely die and no one would ever play it again. Because, yes, you're going to eventually get bored of this game in the current state of the game. However, ranked play is going to be coming out later, and that's going to give you an endless possibility of time that you'll be able to put into the game. But for right now, what you mainly should be doing is focusing on learning the heroes, learning the maps, learning the different recoils, learning the different strategies and ways of playing the game, and not really focusing so much on how repetitive the game can be, because it can be very repetitive. But at the same time, I like the fact that every level you get loot boxes every level. With getting those loot boxes, you can get skins, you can get animations, you can get player icons, you can get sprays and all kinds of stuff. Even though most of the stuff people don't like in the loot boxes, I do like the fact that you're constantly getting something that doesn't impact gameplay, and that's really, really important for a competitive game, and something that Blizzard definitely wants to have be competitive, to not get anything like that. Now, as you also level up, you're gonna, the leveling up doesn't affect gameplay as well, which is really awesome. Something that maybe D3 Paragon system should take a little tip from, because in this game I really love the fact that you can get higher and higher level, higher and higher level. It doesn't really mean anything. It just means you get more loot boxes, it means you get more loot, more cosmetic stuff, and that's great. I definitely think the loot box system needs more options in the future. You need more things that you can showcase off and feel proud of. I know why Blizzard put this type of thing into the game. They want to give something similar to us like we get in League of Legends with the chests that you can open, or CSGO with the cases you can open. But I feel like if they need to implement some other things to the game that are really, really, really difficult to get, really, really rare to get, because then you can feel like a badass when you get them, and you can show those off to other people. Because even though legendaries are pretty tough to get, in a couple months from now you're going to have pretty much all the skins, you're going to have all the stuff. That's just how it's going to go. Once you put enough time into the game, you're going to eventually get everything, and it's not going to feel as special. So there always has to be something you're chasing out there. And for most people, it's going to be the ranked play, and that's fine. And I'm going to be doing the same. I have the same thoughts about that. But as far as the game goes, with the loot and all that kind of stuff, it's fine for now. But if you're thinking about playing a game like Overwatch because you think I'm going to put all this time into it, I'm going to get all this stuff, and it's going to be so awesome, you're just going to get some cosmetic things, you're just going to level up a little bit more. So if you go into the mindset of, I'm going to play this game because I want to get stuff, you're not probably going to enjoy this game that much. But if you go into it going, okay, I want to be competitive in this game, I want to get good at this game, I'm going to spend time getting good at it, then the loot boxes are an extra special bonus thing for you to get. And that's how you should think about them. If you think about them that way, I think you'll enjoy playing the game a lot more. Some of the things that I don't like that much about the game, now for one, this is kind of the big one for me, and that would be balance in the game. Would be that some heroes are just way too overpowered. I think in general a lot of the heroes in the game are very overpowered. There are certain abilities that need tuning, certain things that need tuning in general. I don't want to sit here and just complain about the game and just complain about the fact that Bastion just completely wrecks everybody and just sits back there, and if nobody does anything about him, he just wrecks the entire game. Because there are ways of countering that stuff. You can get a Tracer and you can get up behind everybody and maybe use your ult on the Bastion, kill him, and then you dealt with him. You know, you can get snipers to deal with that situation. You know, Pharah can be very annoying versus something like a Junkrat. You can constantly keep putting pressure on him, and so that can be very frustrating. You're like, oh my god, Pharah is so overpowered. She's, you know, how can I do it? There are certain counters in the game. There are certain rock, paper, scissors elements to the game, and that's fine. But at the same time, there are certain things that completely stand out, and those things definitely need a little bit of tuning here and there, maybe some damage tweaks, maybe some ammo tweaks, maybe some cooldown tweaks, and things like that. So once they do all that stuff, then it's fine. If Blizzard left the game completely the way it is right now, I think that people would be very bored of it quickly and very frustrated with it quickly, and just quit playing, you know, maybe 100, 200 hours into it and never touch it ever again. But that's not going to be the case. You know, the rank play is coming out. They're definitely going to do tuning. I mean, that's what Blizzard does. They're just the type of people that, you know, patches up constantly. And, you know, this is a game that, you know, which is like actually something that I also enjoy about this game, and something that people need to keep in mind, is that this is a Blizzard game. And yes, Blizzard does put out things like Diablo 3, which sometimes can be forgotten about in certain points, and sometimes really can shine. But with Overwatch, it's a new IP. It's something that Blizzard's really pushing. I cannot see them being lazy about this game. I cannot see that happening whatsoever. I feel like Blizzard is going to be putting so much resources into this game because this is the next big thing that they've been working on for a really long time. And, you know, if everyone stops playing World of Warcraft one day, if everyone stops playing Hearthstone one day or something like that, this is the type of game that I feel like Blizzard wants to, you know, continue the legacy of the Blizzard games. Not that those games will die out completely or anything like that, but Overwatch is just another threat when it comes to the, you know, games that Blizzard does do. So I feel like with that, that's something to look forward to, because I feel like I said, there is going to be these constant patches, there's going to be these constant tuning and things like that. So if you're kind of frustrated about the game right now, or that's something you're hesitating on, then maybe just wait a little bit for the game to be a little bit more balanced. But in general, I feel like, you know, 90% of the game feels very good. But, you know, there are definitely always things that need to be tuned, especially in something that has competitive elements in it. But the final thing that I would say that is probably a dislike for me is the fact that you can have multiple heroes on the teams. You can pick like 6 Reinhardts or 6 Bastions or 6 Junkrats or 6 Pharah or something like that. That needs to be changed. I think that when the competitive scene comes around, I don't know. I didn't play the beta that much, so I heard that they introduced a little bit of competitive stuff in the beta. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. When rank play does come out, I want it to, you know, definitely have that balance to it, so you can be a little bit strategic about it. Maybe have like a hero that you can ban on each side in the rank play, and not be able to have duplicates like they do in League of Legends. You can have duplicates of champions in the game, you know, when you're not doing rank play. But when you're doing rank play, you know, you have to make things a little bit more balanced. You can't just be like constantly be like, oh, another, you know, 6 Reinhardt team or something like that. You know, not saying that's a good comp or anything, but I'm just saying that, like, that you get the point in that situation. When rank play comes around, you shouldn't have that anymore. So that way we could have, you know, more meta behind the game, more group play compositions behind the game, and really utilize the rock paper scissors aspect of the game. And that's something that definitely would be really awesome for the future. But for right now, yeah, it can be pretty frustrating at certain times, but I feel like it's okay for right now, because it gives you more feelings of the game, it gives you more impressions of the game, it lets you try out different situations. You get to try out more compositions and more things with the current state of the game. So for practice-wise, I don't really mind it, but when it comes down to the competitive side of it, then that's going to have to be tuned, I believe, definitely. But that's pretty much all my thoughts and everything like that about Overwatch right now. Looking forward to the future of the game to see what Blizzard has in store for us. I'm sure that from what I've heard, the rank play is supposed to come out maybe later this month or maybe in July. But also, you know, that BlizzCon's coming up, and Blizzard's going to go definitely in detail about all the things that are, you know, in the future for Overwatch. Now, for the big question, Is this game worth buying? Well, you listen to this video, you can make that decision yourself. I don't know you, I don't know the type of person you are, the type of player you like to play certain games and all that stuff like that, but if you like a game that has smooth gameplay, a game that has fun gameplay, from, in my opinion, and a game that feels similar to things like Quake, Unreal Tournament, Team Fortress 2, and has a bright future ahead of it as far as Blizzard games are concerned, I definitely don't feel like this is the CS:GO killer. Counter-Strike is the best FPS shooter, or FPS of all time. It always will be. Nothing will ever take that away from it. It's a force to be reckoned with. It has been for many, many years. You shouldn't be comparing this game to Counter-Strike. This is in a different league. This is in a different way of playing the game. It's different. You have characters with abilities and all that sort of stuff. It's just a different FPS in general. So you should look at this differently. If you're a full-time Counter-Strike player, you might play Overwatch for a little while, and then when ranked play comes out, if you like it, then you might play that for even longer, or you might just go back to Counter-Strike, and most likely that would be the case. But if you're playing this and you haven't played an FPS in a while, you like the Blizzard games that come out, you're a sucker for Blizzard games, and you just want to play another Blizzard game that's polished, has good gameplay behind it, and stuff that most likely have a lot of new things added in the future, then I can definitely recommend the game. I don't think it's a perfect game. I think it definitely has a lot of flaws behind it, but I do think that overall, for the money that you're paying for the game, I think it's $40, 40 USD for the original version of the game, or you can do like the digital deluxe, which is like $60. For $40 for a couple hundred hours of entertainment, that's before rank play comes out. I think you definitely can't go wrong there. So that's my thoughts and opinions, guys. Let me know what you think, and on top of that, guys, subscribe to the channel for more Overwatch videos, and also in the description down below, you can come over to my Twitch channel. I stream Tuesday through Sunday, 8 p.m. EST, every week. That's how I do it over my Twitch channel. So the link's down below for you to come over and follow me. Come play with me in Overwatch. I've been doing a lot of that lately, like I said. Or just, come over and ask some questions. I'll give you some tips and all that kind of stuff. And maybe just continue the conversation from this video if you have more questions about the game before purchasing. And that's all I want to do here, is just try to let you see a little bit of the gameplay, see a little bit of my opinions about the game, my mindset behind the game, and all that sort of thing. If that helps you with making a decision, then great, then it's all worth it. Anyways, guys, that's it for me today. Until next time, my name is Shinobi, and thanks for watching.